Good morning and welcome to the special meeting of the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Thank you. Good morning. Supervisor Hickman is online.
Here.
Supervisor Gates.
Here.
Supervisor Galvin, also online.
Here.
Supervisor Gallardo.
Here.
And Chairman Sellers.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay. The action item today is appointment for Legislative State Representative District 5 as action item number 1. The board will now consider item number 1.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for the setting this meeting today. As we know, we've got the legislature in session. There's a lot going on, so I was very fortunate to have the opportunity to speak with the 3 names that were sent up by the LD5 Democrats, Mark Robert Gordon, Brianna Westbrook, and Charles Lucking. I really want to congratulate the 3 of them for having their names sent up. And after having the opportunity to discuss the priorities of Maricopa County with the 3 of them, I am proud, Mr. Chair, to move at this point that Charles Lucking be appointed to fill the vacancy in LD5 caused by Dr. Amish Shah's departure. And Mr. Chair, maybe after there's a second, wondered if I could say a few words about him.
Yes, please. Thank you, Supervisor Gates.
Mr. Chairman, I would be honored to second this motion, and just a real quick comment as well. Thanks to the 3 candidates that have stepped forward to submit their names. We know how important the job is there at the down the street at the state capitol. They're right in the middle of legislative business, so it's really important to be able to move through this process really as quickly as we can. Mr. Chairman, I do want to thank you and Supervisor Gates for moving this forward. You both have, I think this is your second time within a couple of weeks, and I know how tough these appointments are. I mean, you have good candidates. These are always tough decisions. You always want to kind of weigh the pros and cons, but you all have made the process just as easy as possible for us. So, so thank you, Mr. Chairman and Supervisor Gates, and I am honored to second the motion.
Thank you, Supervisor Gallardo. Supervisor Gates.
Well, Mr. Chair, thank you again. Thank you, Supervisor Gallardo, for your comments. I agree, three strong candidates, but I have to tell you that Charles Lucking really stood out. He's a longtime resident of LD5. He's a graduate of Central High School. He's a 5th generation Arizonan, which is just remarkable. And it really is very fitting today with those deep roots in Arizona that we're making this appointment on Statehood Day. He has a history of public service. He served with the Peace Corps, and he's currently an attorney with Community Legal Services, which this, like with Sarah Ligori, he spoke a lot about housing, and I think anyone who follows the Board of Supervisors knows that this issue of affordable housing is one of the most important issues that we're facing as a county. So I really appreciate his background he has on that. I appreciate his ability to hit the ground running as it relates to that issue. And I think that Charles Lucking and Sarah Ligori are going to be a very strong team on this issue and others for LD5. I'm an LD5 resident, so this one is very personal for me, and I appreciate what Charles is going to be able to bring to the table. And I asked him about the budget deficit, and he was appointed by LD5 Democrats to go out and observe the appropriations process over the last couple of years. So he hasn't served before like Sarah Ligori, but he's been down there. He's seen how this operates, and he's someone who's going to have an open mind to listen to all voices at this really critical point in our county and our state's history. So again, Mr. Chair, thanks for all you did with this process, and thank the whole team, and very excited about the opportunity to send Mr. Lucking down there to the state legislature.
Thank you, Supervisor Gates. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Item number 2 is consideration of appointment for Legislative State Representative District 22. The board will now consider item number 2.
Mr. Chairman, we were hoping to try to get through these as quickly as we can. I think this is the last legislative vacancy currently that we have there at the legislature. They did the PC's precinct commitment out in District 22, met on Monday to come up with the 3 names. We thought we would be able to come with the nomination. It looks like we're going to need a little bit more time to interview the candidates and get to know them. So I would ask and make a motion that we table item number 2 for the moment. And is that the right motion? Am I doing it right? Okay. Make a motion that we table item number 2 for the current moment.
Thank you, Supervisor.
Mr. Chairman, I heard a motion, and I'd like to second Supervisor Gallardo's with a comment also. Thank you, Steve. Thank you for taking my call last night. As you guys can see, I'm not there, and a small percentage of the precincts of LD 22 are in District 4. So I asked Steve if there was the ability. This is on the Dem side, and he's got quite a few precincts in there. But I would like to have the ability to talk to 1 or 2 of these candidates before we hear a motion, because it's very intriguing from what I saw in the newspaper about these 3 candidates. So thank you, Steve. I told you I'd absolutely support a tabling so we can take a little bit more time. I think we've been knocking it out of the park of trying to make these decisions very quickly as we can to provide representation to the legislature. But it also affords us a little bit of time to vet some of these people out, because we don't want to appoint an axe murderer. So I get tired of saying it, but we seem to be doing a lot of appointments. So my congratulations to the board for moving quickly on the other ones, and we plan to move just as quick as District 5 and District 4 working together for representation.
Thank you, Supervisor Hickman. Any other comments? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? That motion passes. And this meeting is adjourned.